Hi, this is an introduction to the library website. I hope to keep it kind of short but useful for you. The link to the library website is at the top of the cfc.edu website. And once you click on that, you'll see most of the space is taken up by the main box that you'll be working in. The Discover tab is a link to just a really good brainstorming tool because you get books, articles, movies, and lots of different material there. It's it's not used for specific author search, for instance. If you knew you wanted to search for Shakespeare, for instance, as an author, you would select this radio button. Or if you knew you wanted a particular title of a work, you select that radio button. But if you're just brainstorming, just go ahead and put in um, your keywords. Keywords are usually subjects. It doesn't understand natural language like Google does, so just bring out your key concepts, and we'll talk more about that in the course. Um, Ask Us is a link to ways you can communicate with the reference staff. You can chat, you can call, you can email, or you can schedule a research consultation for a more in-depth research project that you really need some good help on, and you can do that for this class as well. The research guides are very useful for you. You'll have how-to guides on all of these subjects, just like distinguishing between scholarly journals and popular magazines might be useful for you. Um, Getting started with library research might be useful. And you have guides under the research guides for the majors and minors too, which are collections of the most useful resources we feel will help you in your research. So for instance, if you're an anthropology major and you kind of need to know, how do I start finding peer-reviewed articles in databases, you would want to access the anthropology research guide. Under Find Articles, for instance, are some suggested databases that provide you a good starting point. So definitely remember the research guides. You can also search by librarian um, as well as subject. So back to the center box. The e-journals will become more useful to you as you start to work from bibliographies, because here's where you'd want to put in a journal title to see if we have electronic access to it. So useful if you're working from a bibliography, and we'll talk more about that as the class progresses. The databases is really where you do the bulk of your research, and I really want to emphasize that because a lot of students get kind of lost about how to find journal articles. Definitely click on the database tab to find databases that will index many different journals depending on your subject area. These are just listed alphabetically, so if you want to find a journal um, that is, or a database that is useful for your subject article without reading all these descriptions, um, go back to research guides, and that will help you know which database to use. So that's just a very basic overview of the website. You'll also has a nice link to basic steps for starting library research, which just might be informative to you, or even just if you've been doing research for a while, just take a visit and see if you learn anything new there. Down at the bottom has our library floor plan and hours, as well as links to special collections and study room availability. If you and your study group need a quiet place to work, you can reserve one of those rooms with the tables, and they provide a nice quiet place. Interlibrary loan we'll talk about more as the class progresses. Very useful to set up a library account too, so you can easily order materials, books and materials from libraries all over the world. Other links I didn't really talk about Pascal is the partnership among South Carolina academic libraries, and that gives you access to materials in other state libraries like University of South Carolina or Clemson. If the College of Charleston Library doesn't own that, you can order the item you need from one of those other libraries, and it will get to you in about 3 days. So Lowcountry Digital Library is a very good resource too, especially for primary source materials, diaries, items like that. So explore the library website, and I hope this short introduction provides a help to you. Thank you.